we're testing out a few different things. I've got my phone, I've got my computer. I have no idea if the computer is even working, but here we are. We're going to see how this goes. I've got a few questions from folks and a couple other things I wanted to chat about. I'm trying to be kind of quiet because my son's trying to go to sleep, and 5-year-olds at bedtime, not always the easiest. So if you see me looking more here, depending on where you're watching, that's why. It's because I've got two setups. I'm playing around on Streamlabs, trying to figure out live streaming on Patreon. So this was originally going to be only on Patreon. But the audience is still small there. We're working on growing it. And I also, I'm not an ace at this, so I'm trying to figure things out. So bear with me. But it's here. And I'm going to save this once I'm done. And this will go in the feed as well. So for those that are listening, I apologize to future listeners, because this may be a little bit more visual than most of the old episodes. But like I said, here we are. Hey, what's up, man? How are you? Thanks to everyone that is jumping on. It's much appreciated. I don't know everything we're going to get into. I have no idea how long this will be. But yeah, I figured we'd start easy. Someone asked me the other day what I'm carrying, so I figured I would show you guys what I'm carrying for today. If you saw my feed, you kind of know, but it's this guy. Easily, I mean, if you follow me for 30 seconds, you know this is my jam. This is a Spyderco McBee, designed by Jonathan McNeese, one of my favorite makers. I've had him on the pod before, so if you haven't listened to it, go back and check out that episode. But this one is pretty heavily modified. He did some jimping on the spine there. I hit it with an acid wash, stone wash finish. I got a linen paper micarta. I don't know what you'd call this. I don't know if it's actually micarta or if it's G10. I don't know. Anyways, it's this sweet little replacement scale from... I'm going to butcher his handle. It's like DNT3. I don't know. Go to my feed with this, and he's tagged. He also made the brass backspacer with the lanyard hole. Love that setup. And then there's also the Lynch McBee clip. Shout out Casey for making an awesome clip. I have the coin that I posted about today, so definitely go check out that post. I thought that picture turned out really great. I have my wallet from Black Cross Leather. It has another coin in it, and this has also been in my feed before too, but this is a Franklin $50 that has been carved out with a skull in it. It's kind of dirty right now, but you guys get the idea. Hey dude, I'm glad you got the stickers. I threw a bunch in there. Some of them were kind of random, so apologies if you're like, I don't even know what this is, but anyways, here we are. Also, shout out Pineapple Cup. My coworkers got that for me as a really early birthday present. They got it and couldn't hang on to it, so yeah, that's the Pineapple Cup. And then I always have my trusty nutsack. Right now I've got my pistol in there. I don't normally carry it like this, but this is kind of to and from the car. So anyways, I knew I was doing this, so I left it in there to mention. Someone else asked what's in my bag, so I'm just kind of lumping them all together here. I have a notebook. This is a Ride in the Rain notebook, which is great. And then, I don't know, this is kind of my everyday notebook for podcast stuff and Instagram-y stuff. I don't know. Anyways, so that's what the goofy sticker is for. Because I have the same one, but with a different sticker for work. What else do we have in here? Let's grab the really fun stuff, which you guys probably care about. I'm gonna set it all down and we'll go through it rather quickly. It's not that much stuff. My laptop is at work, so pineapple pouch from Garage Built Gear. Huge shout out, love this thing. And then some sweet Ranger eyes also in today's post. So the Mahi got a ton of attention It's Mama Bear Patch or Mama Bear Patchworks or something like that. But just go to my last post and they're tagged. Casey Lynch, Team Weekend Warrior, Whataburger, Represent Texas, Lundquist, Raven the Pirate and Castle, Grayscale, and then Hori Corgi, sweet little Oni there. So anyways, and then of course Pineapple Bead. Inside, not too stuffed. I've got the trusty Beer Bomb. Gotta love that. Lynch, Pry Bar. I just hit this with like a goldish yellow anno on the clip, and I really like that combo. And then I also have probably my favorite like little multi-tool pocket tool. This is from Novel Carry, and it's the slide kick. So I don't actually carry this in my pocket because it's a little chunky. If I'm going to carry a pry bar, it's usually the Lynch, but I love the little bit storage. That's super cool. And then it's just a solid, I actually used it the other day to pry some stuff open because it's a little beefier than the Lynch. I was running some cables at work and I don't know, it just made sense. Anyways, GEC 25, this stays with me every day because, you know, I don't know, I'm weird and I love this thing. And then nice little classic Twice Born Customs made these scales and put them on for me and sent this to me. This thing is probably one of my least mentioned but most carried items. It's always super, the scissors on this thing are razor sharp, and it's always nice to have a small pair of scissors. So this gets more use than just about anything. But yeah, that's the bag and the pouch. Nothing in the pockets today. Oh, of course I forgot all the other stuff I said over here. So this is another little pouch I got from Long Hunter. Shout out Notorious and Castle Grayscale. This was kind of the overflow today because I reorganized and put the Mahi patch on the... Anyways, this actually just holds some techie stuff. So I have a little SSD in here from Crucial. I have a USB-C to Lightning, which is awesome. And then probably, again, another one of like the least mentioned, most appreciated tools is this little cable kit from Lever Gear. Shout out Lever Gear. If you guys use the code GTDone, you can save a few bucks. I'm just, listen, if you use it or don't, I don't care, but you need to get one of these. These things are awesome. So it's this tiny little thing, and inside of it is a lightning cable with a USB. There's also buried in here a little USB-C, or excuse me, a lightning to USB-C. So now you kind of have everything, which is great. And then there's some SD cards and a SIM tool in here as well. But this thing is worth its weight in gold. I actually used it today. I was dumping a bunch of files onto the SSD, and this cable worked like a charm. So yeah, I keep this little pouch with these little cables and stuff. I don't access it all the time, but this thing is great. So huge shout out to Long Hunter Supply for that pouch. Check them out. Anyways, the last few items, everybody's favorite things. It's GTDone, just my username. If you're wondering about the code, I think you save like 10%. I can't remember, but anyways, so I have the DieScribe Mini Go, I think is what it is. This is the shortest variant. This one does not have the finger grooves, but shout out Kelvin and Urban Survival Gear. This thing is choice. Same time I hit this thing with the yellow, I also did this one. I don't know, it kind of looked like a bullet. I thought it was cool. I don't know. Anyways, I have a Write in the Rain pencil. This came with the notebooks, and it has 1.5 or 1.3 millimeter lead, so it's super beefy, doesn't break. It's awesome. I also have a pen with some not super nice words that might be backwards to you guys, but I think you can get what it says. This is the pen that I hand people when they ask me to borrow pens. And then I have, of course, the Raylight Mini Pineapple in titanium. This is the smooth barrel variant. I took it apart, hit it with like a bronze anno, and then stonewashed it for a minute. I got a little tritium in the tail switch, and then I put some O-rings on there because, I don't know, I just thought it looked cool. Anyways, Okay, that is everything. We're not getting any more out. No more stuff. Oh wait, I'm just kidding. Yeah, so if you guys come up with questions, feel free to just drop them as we go. This is supposed to be on YouTube live as well. I have no idea if it's actually going to show up for people on YouTube, but I hope people, you know, I don't know. I'm figuring out OBS and Streamlabs and all of that stuff. So this is going to be where I spend the most of my time. Yeah. So if you guys have questions, drop them. I'll try to keep an eye on them and answer them. But otherwise, I just wanted to get into the few that I had. So shout out to one of my Patreons and one of probably the biggest supporters I've had since I started this thing, and that is Till Burnett. Let me double check his username because I want to shout him out. He's a super cool dude, and I just want to make sure he gets all the right loving. But Till has been awesome, super engaged listener, supporter, just all around a good dude, and he shot me a couple questions, so I'm going to answer those first. James, yep, Till Burnett, so TILLBURNETT. Till, if you're listening, thank you. I don't know if you prefer James or Till, but I always refer to you as Till when I have conversations because that's your username and that's how I know you first, so here we are. But yeah, also a Texas guy, so you know, shout out to my Texas homies. But he asked me where the McBee is, which if you guys were watching, it's here. I have it. It's still my favorite. I still use it a lot, and it's one of those knives that, like, when I hand it to people at work, they think like, oh, he's the knife guy, and then I hand them this little thing and they're like, what is this? And I'm like, well, just wait, just give it a couple seconds and just try it. I mean, like, what are you doing at work? You're opening a box? Like, come on. You don't need more than this. This is great. And it's got just the perfect little, I mean, if you want to get real crazy, you can go all the way up here. But it's just perfect for, you know, just everyday use. It's small. It's simple. And we're coming into the hot months here in Texas. And I'm a big guy already, so I don't like carrying a lot of bulky stuff. This thing is money. It's the best as far as I'm concerned in terms of, you know, bang for your buck. I don't know what other terms to use, but anyways, you guys get what I'm saying. And then he asked for a dream right light slice pry setup. So I'll answer this. Very simple. My dream pen, I would have to say, I mean, I'm loving the TieScribe Go Mini, and so it's really good. I want to try a different refill, something a little bit finer tip, but it writes great. The action, I mean, I've had titanium bolt actions before, and right out of the box, they're pretty stiff. They got to break in for a little while. And that was not the case with this one. I mean, shout out to Kelvin and all the work that he's doing to really hone in his tolerances and make these things perfect out of the box, because they absolutely are. So maybe like a fancier version of that. I can't go down the Fellholter rabbit hole again. Mad props to Brian and all of his awesome work. But I find myself, when I have a Fellholter, it's dangerous, because I will go and I will look for every accessory and every combo, and it just, those things add up super quick. I'd love to get like a Damascus clip for the TieScribe, because I think it's a nice, neat little flare. But as it is, like, I love it. It's a great pen. Light, you guys, this one's easy, because I already have that. If you followed along at all for any length of time, I'm not a flashlight guy. This is the only one I own. It's the only one I carry, and I use it very sparingly. It does have the rechargeable battery in it, which is really nice. I've only charged it once since I got it, because, again, I don't use it that often. It's called the Pineapple, so what more could you want? It's slim. It can run on a AAA. It's got a tail switch. It's nice and clicky. It's a deep carry clip. I mean, this checks just about every box. So this is the light for me. Basically what I'm saying is I kind of already have this dream set up. So thank you for the question. But yeah, so far, this is the, sorry, I set everything down and now I'm reaching for it again. So far, right and light, I've got them. As far as slice goes, I would absolutely love a, not a flashlight guy either, somehow found myself in. So the DC0 would be kind of my like next, like my wish list for lights is pretty much this. It's slim, can run on a AAA if it needs to. I love the more powerful battery that's in here, but slim AAA. I love the smooth barrel on this one because it's in and out of the pocket super easy. Tail switch and simple on off. Like I went through the menu and I read the article to customize like the patterns and stuff, and I messed with it, and then I took the battery out, and I guess, I don't know, it just reset. So anyways, but yeah, the DC0 is a very, very, very attractive light as well, but it's a little bit bigger than this if I remember correctly. But anyways, pen, light, slice and pry. So slice, I definitely want a custom Killer Bee from Jonathan. I would love something in a similar configuration. The time, I've seen him pop up every now and then. I'm on his Facebook group, and I'm on a couple of other Killer Customs and Midtex, I think, is one of them. But I'm on a couple other buy-sell trade groups, and I've seen him pop up in the past, and it's never the right time or the right price or the right materials. There's never, nothing, the stars have not aligned for that yet. But I am still holding on to this one. I love it. It's great. It's not going anywhere. Even if I got a Killer Bee, this would stay in the collection because it's just been such a trooper. Now, quick caveat, because I know this answer is getting super long. However, a dream slice would probably be that custom Killer Bee. But that's not the same question as if you could only have one knife for the rest of your life, what would it be? And I don't know if I've talked about this on the pod before, but I know Tom did, I think in his episode with Tim Reeve from Chris Reeve Knives. But I think my, like, I can only have one knife ever for the rest of my life is probably a small Sebenza. I know that that's sort of like the typical Sebenza fanboy answer. I don't have a CRK in the collection right now. I've had Sebenzas in the past, and there's just something about them. When you have one, it's like it's perfect. But I think for me and my likes and what I want to carry, it's been this guy for a while now. I don't listen. The Zan, I don't know. The Zaman, Zim, I don't know. It's fine. It's just not for me. It's a little bit larger. I don't know if they have a smaller one or not. I don't know a ton about Chris Reeve, like the different models and stuff, but I'd love to try a small 31 at some point, but I haven't. It hasn't been a priority. If I'm chasing something at that price tag, it's probably going to go towards a custom Killer Bee. But anyways, back to the question at hand, right, light, slice, and pry. Pries for me, I'm one of the people, I'm a pry fanboy. People that have listened know I like pry bars. I believe in them. I think if it can save the tip of my knife even one time, it's worth its weight in gold. So anything from Casey Lynch, I have found a preference in the V2. I don't remember what model this is, but this is the V2.0, 2.1, 2.x. I can't remember, but it's sort of got that bomber style front, sort of like the beer bomb with that angry eye, and I just love that style, but I also love this size. If you can see a pattern here, I like small gear. I mean, I'm pretty easy, right? If there's a mini version or a micro version, I'm probably going to check it out, just regarding gear. But yeah, just anything from Casey is great. I think this one's great for just everyday light duty tasks. I will say that I've had a 1 point something, and it was slightly bigger. It was sort of between this and the 2.6 or 2.7 that I had. That was the Eddy All Access Pass, and that one was just a little too big. Anyways, the one in the middle, the 1. Whatever, was sort of the perfect size for really getting a good grip on. This one is a little small from time to time, and I don't have huge hands, but I have chubby hands, and so, anyways, that's it. I mean, listen, I don't know that I could build a better or closer carry than this right here to perfect. I mean, I'd fancy this one up a little bit with a nice fancy clip. Maybe I get Casey to, I don't know, make me a fancy version of one of these, and then this guy right here, switch it out for a custom, and that's about it. Like, I'm pretty content. If you guys listen to the episode that I did with Tom, I think it was on his podcast, Notorious EDC, we talked about my collection, and it's pretty small. I'm not really a collector. I do have several patches. I have a few pens. I have a few knives, but nothing in the double digits. Just because I don't need all of that stuff. If I don't use it, it tends to go and not hang around very long. But yeah, that's kind of the setup. That's what I would go for if someone said, "Here's a blank check, get whatever you want." That's probably it. Moving on. Sharp by Nature asked me, so I post a lot of like barbecue stuff. I tend to barbecue pretty regularly. As I become more of an adult, I find myself, like, especially like dad mode, I grill, I barbecue more often than I ever thought I would. And so he asked me, smoker, are you ever going to get like a proper smoker? And he didn't specify, so be it like a pellet smoker. Dad Life Plus Texas. That's exactly what it is, man. So he didn't specify type of smoker. He says, are you going to get a smoker at some point, or are you going to rock the Weber kettle forever? So my first grill, like when I moved into a house, we were renting and I could like have a grill, was a Weber kettle. I got it from my dad. It was like hand-me-down. I don't know. I think he got it off Facebook or something for like $50. And I got really used to cooking. I wouldn't say good, but I got really used to cooking, grilling, barbecuing on the kettle. I never did anything real intense, but I just got used to the way it cooked. And then when we moved into our house where we're at now, it was like, okay, I want to get a new grill. I need something small. And Weber has the Performer series that has the frame and it has the little fold-up tables and all that. And they have a small one. Same size grill, but small table. And so that's what I got. They're not super cheap. I think, you get what you pay for with just about anything. And I want to say it was like $380. Like it wasn't super cheap for a grill, but it just, I'm on a couple Facebook groups for grills, which is super dad lifey, but it's like dudes with socks and Crocs cracking open a Miller Lite and just staring at their grill. I don't do it. I don't do that often. I do it, but not often. Never with socks. But yeah, I've gotten really used to the Weber and how it cooks, and I've done everything from, chicken, ribs. I do ribs a lot, pork loins, pork butts, briskets. I've done just about everything there is to do on a smoker, but I've done it in the kettle, and I've kind of figured out how to get, I don't know, if I'm going off on a barbecuing tangent and nobody cares, please just tell me to get back to it. But yeah, I've gotten 10 hours on the kettle, which is, I mean, just 10 hours at holding like 225, 235, pretty good. So I've gotten really used to it. I don't need to spend the extra money. Although, like the Traegers and the Pit Bosses and the Z grills, like all these pellet grills where you can just doot on your phone, man, it would be nice. I mean, it would be really convenient, but no, for now, I'll probably just stick with the kettle. Unless we add on concrete and get a huge patio and I've got all this extra room. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But for now, hashtag Charcoal Nation for me. Coming up on the last two questions. I don't know how long we've been doing this. I don't see a timer on here, but whatever. I get this question a lot. Nobody asked this today or like recently, but I get this question a lot, so I figured I'd answer it. And it is, why pineapples? There is no real reason. I think I've mentioned this on the pod before, but regardless, there's no real reason. I really love pineapples, like a lot. I've got hashtag pineapple gang. I just like pineapples. I've always liked pineapples. I don't know. I like to eat them. I like them. I don't know. That's really it. It's nothing like, there's no significant meaning or anything like that. I've got family that thinks it has to do with SpongeBob, because I liked SpongeBob a lot when I was really young and watched a lot when I was growing up. So maybe, but oh hey, speaking of, little shout out right there to SpongeBob. Whenever I got that done, I had him throw in one of these little bikini bottom flowers, because why not? But yeah, there's not really like a real reason. I just like pineapples like a lot, and I think they look cool and they taste great. And that of course lends itself to the age-old question of, do you like pineapple on pizza? Or not necessarily do you like it, but do you think it belongs on pizza? I am a bit of a pacifist when it comes to this question. I don't care. I would never order it on pizza because it's just not, I just wouldn't think. I mean, if I were stranded and the only thing that I had to consume was a pizza and it happened to have pineapple on it, you better believe I'm going to eat it, because, I'm an eat first, ask questions later kind of guy. Well, yeah, I don't know if I agree with that. Anyways, I'm not one of those people that yells at everyone that puts it on pizza, but it's not something I would order. But yeah, I think it's fine. If there's anyone still on and you're watching this, if you have questions, now is your chance to get them in. I don't have any other questions that I wanted to answer. And I just closed out Streamlabs. I hope I didn't end my stream on YouTube. Whatever, I'll have this video. It doesn't matter. Which means I can shut this too. Look at that. I tried to position the ring light so that this wouldn't happen, but you guys could still see my face. And I'm like, I find myself like squatting down a little bit. But anyways, this is why I don't do videos. Because I'm staring at myself and that's weird. But yeah, that's what's going on. Those are the questions that were asked. What knife are you carrying now? It's this little guy. It's almost always this little guy. I've got a few, but it's almost always this one. I need to clean it up, put a new edge on it. It's seen a little bit of abuse, but it's still sharp, it still cuts, still gets the job done. Anyways, well, this has been great. This has been fun. Huge shout out to everyone that jumped on, everyone that commented, everyone that followed along and stuck with me. If you stuck with me the whole time or not, doesn't matter. I want to do more of these, but I wasn't sure if this one was going to happen, because again, getting a 5-year-old to go to bed, almost 5-year-old go to bed on his own without throwing up a big fuss is tough. And so up until like 2 minutes before I started, he had some monster trucks and he was running them up and down the entryway here. So it's right by this door, so you could hear everything. It was awesome. But I'm texting my wife like, please, 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 like, is he gonna go to bed at some point? It would have been fine. He would have come in and we could have said hi, but he needs to be in bed and asleep because he's gonna give Grandpa and Grandma a hard time tomorrow if he doesn't get his. I don't know how many ever hours at 3. He gets. I don't know. He went to bed at probably 8:30. So I don't know. Anyway, how many ever hours that is? I'm not doing math right now. A couple things before we close. If you guys have not checked it out, go check out the link in my bio. You can click up here and go. Yeah, I'm fighting right now. Yeah, dude, it's a never-ending. You're on the West Coast, right? So you're like an hour or two behind us. So yeah, it's yeah, we started fighting that battle probably about the same time as you. But anyways, yeah, check out the link up there, and you guys can go check out the podcast episodes. We just hit 101 episodes. We just crossed 20,000 downloads, which is still mind-boggling. I'm waiting on some stuff to come in so that I can put together the giveaway, but we're going to run that here pretty soon. You can also sign up for Patreon, where we're going to do more of these, and as the audience grows, they'll become more frequent, and we'll do some questions. Maybe I'll just pick a topic out of a hat and we'll talk about it. I don't know. We'll figure it out as we grow. But you guys can sign up for Patreon. It's a couple bucks a month. Helps the channel out. All of that stuff goes straight back into the podcast, which is super appreciated. There's also an option to do a one-time donation if you want to throw a couple bucks my way towards the show. All of that stuff, again, recycles and buys things like lighting and microphones and other stuff that I need to buy or upgrade or whatever, or just production costs like hosting and all of that stuff. There's also a link for merch. So if you want a Gearing Up hoodie or shirt or pineapple hat or something, like I don't make a ton of money off of them, make a couple bucks, but you can rep the show, support us, whatever. If you can't do any of that, that's perfectly fine. I appreciate comments, follows, likes, shares, all of that stuff, anything to help the show grow. And as you guys share stuff, make sure to tag me so that I can jump in the conversation. If you see a post you like on the feed, jump in the conversation there as well. We will continue to talk about all kinds of cool stuff. I've got a couple other episodes that are in the works right now. I'm trying to get scheduling figured out so that we can make those happen. But I think you guys are going to like the folks that I've got lined up to have a chat with. Yeah, that's it. Just make sure you jump on to the podcast feed wherever you listen to podcasts and hit subscribe. And if you leave us a rating, that helps too. And if you share it with your friends, it helps even more. It's 9 o'clock. I'm going to go eat some dinner and probably go to sleep. Thank you again to everyone that jumped on. Hopefully you guys didn't mind seeing this instead of just listening. We're going to do more of these. We're going to talk. We're going to keep this going. But have a great evening, and I'll talk to you guys very soon. Peace. I don't know how to end it. I'm just kidding. You hit this button right here.